The impact of insurgency in northeastern Nigeria is expected to be with us for a very long time. Now, for a lot of us, we rely on the media for updates on what's going on around there. And what we get to hear about the level of displacement there has continued to baffle us. Now, a group of Nigerians, rather than just wait for the media, decide to go on a visit to one of the many camps set up for displaced persons in BIU for an eyewitness account. And now one of them shares with me our experience through the Sambisa forest to a camp that seems to have been forgotten by authority concerned. Our attention was drawn to this story by this photo shared on our eyewitness portal by BIU, and so we made contact and met up with Seun Gbadebo, who would be sharing with us an eyewitness account to BIU. She's a medical student from the United States, and she tells a story which took her 26 hours from Lagos to Maiduguri, then another 4 hours from Maiduguri to BIU, where she spent 4 days.
When we got to Maiduguri, we couldn't get a bus to Bono that same day, so I had to stay over in Maiduguri for a day, and in the process I met with some people. I heard a lot of stories from the people. I heard a lot of the experience that they had with Boko Haram. I wouldn't say they're still not having it, they're still dealing with the aftermath of it, but when Boko Haram was still very prevalent in the area, they went through a lot. The experience was just something that nobody can imagine it, little children getting used to terrorism and the people getting used to seeing cops on the road and all that. And that actually got me more interested to get all the way to BIU. We never knew that I was going to pass through Sambisa forest to get from Maiduguri to BIU. The road had just been opened, so when the first time we got to the car park, we had about 6 or more army vehicles that escorted us to BIU. And it was tense. Everybody was tense. The atmosphere was just something that was fearful. And I did a little recording that I could and took some pictures, but something actually stood out. The stretch of the road from Maiduguri all the way to Damboa was littered literally with shells, with bullet shells, and the many villages that have been deserted and destroyed, about 12 or 13 of them that I counted, and police stations, even telecommunication masts and all that. So the destruction, and also I also noticed some emergency barracks that the police had to erect along the way. And the vehicles that I was in couldn't make anything less than 140 kilometers per hour because they were all scared that anything could happen at any time.
Her journey to BIU, besides affording her a lifetime experience, also exposed her to the work ethics of the Nigerian soldiers in that region, as well as the resilience of the people there.
The Nigerian army that I saw in Sambisa forest, they're different. It's just so different from what we hear here, and also different from what the media portrayed them to be. They were so committed to whatever they were doing. They were committed to protecting our lives. They gave all they could. And I saw people in the rain. I couldn't deal with the sunlight. I couldn't deal with the heat. But they were there in the heat with their cardigan and the uniform and boots. And I could just only imagine the things that they go through every day to protect everybody.
Their arrival at BIU was not altogether a pleasant experience. However, meeting the people at the camp made the journey worthwhile.
Getting to BIU, the first thing that I noticed when I got to the car park, nobody knew where the IDP camp was. And that to me was a shock. We asked about 6 people and they didn't know where the IDP camp was. At first I thought because I called it IDP camp, probably there's something else that they call it. But yeah, they just didn't know where the IDP camp was, and the disconnect was just very shocking to me. So eventually we got to the camp, which was not very, very far, about 2 minutes away from the car park. And we got to the camp, we were welcomed really well. They called the elderly, the coordinators, and everybody. We had a meeting to tell them about the reason why we were there. Myself, one other doctor, and a friend of mine, three of us went. And the hospitality was great. And the people there, the people at the camp were so happy. I mean, I had a man, he came to me and told me that even people of their own tribe will not travel all the way to where they are. And to have somebody from Southwest, and especially somebody from outside of the country, to really care about them. It's not really about giving them stuff, but just the care, just to come and see, to come and share their pains and all that. And that touched me. And, you know, throughout my stay there, I was just grateful for the people.
As at the time of her visit, she claims estimated population was put at 13,000, with about 20 to 30 deaths recorded daily due to the poor state of facility and inadequate supply of other necessities.
We went around the camp to see what was going on at the camp, and there was no working toilet, there was no bathroom. And I was fortunate to be around when they were serving meal, and we had like a bowl of tuwo that they served, and they asked me to guess how many people were going to share that. And my widest guess at the time was about 30 people. Not until they told me 150 people will have to share, I mean, something that won't even be enough for about 15 people. And that's just, they serve them food once a day. And I also went around, I saw some kind of leftovers, food leftovers that they were drying outside, and they told me that usually the kids will go out, gather the food, leftovers and all that from beans around, and dry them so they can recook them later anytime they're hungry. And you know, we saw people that just gave birth, no clothes, nothing, new baby, nothing to take care of the babies. And we saw really sick people that there is no help, there is nobody, they don't have money to go to the hospital, and the camp does not really have a working, I mean, there's so much the clinic at the camp can do, they can't really go beyond some certain things. Then so I decided, okay, we're going to do this strategically, we're going to combat prevention than cure. So we decided, okay, we start with providing a good drainage system, a bathroom, and a working toilet, where, you know, because the day we got there, the previous day, there was the first rain in the year, and the grounds were kind of like cracking and opening up, and they had snakes, like 8 snakes that they killed, you know. And they had scorpions and whatever thing. And also because usually when they go to defecate, they just dig shallow pits and do their thing. So when the rain came, it started overflowing, and the old places was flowing with feces and urine and all that.
Seun Gbadebo and her team have since returned to Lagos with the hope of going back to put more smiles on the faces of the people. But she, however, has a message for us all.
We as Nigerians have to identify with them. We have to put ourselves in their shoes. And that is what I ask of Nigerians to do, to identify with them, to see them as our brothers. When you see them as fellow humans and fellow Nigerians.
Sometimes we complain of so much lack around us, while we hold on so tightly to what we could spare, with no thought of sharing. The message from Seun Gbadebo's story is clear. Lend a helping hand.
Yeah!